Tim, welcome to Watch What, and thanks for logging on. Today, I'm introducing you to part 2 of our Hublot blowout. I should say it's our Hublowout. 3 special editions that really span the spectrum of Hublot's mastery of diverse and fused materials. We're looking at the Hublot Monaco Yacht Club limited edition, in this case of 500, the Hublot East Coast Jewelry 20th Anniversary limited edition, in this case one of 100 pieces, and the legend, the Hublot Mag Bang of 2007, one of only 250 pieces made. I've got to keep this one on the opposite side of the East Coast because these two are kind of like antimatter. I can't let them touch, and I'll explain why that is in just a moment. Now, Hublot made its name in 1980 with the fusion of a rubber strap and precious metal, gold. Sacrilegious, revolutionary, and audacious at the time, Jean-Claude Bavera arrived in 2004, and he continued the legacy of fusion and materials innovation with the Big Bang. Today we know it as something of a latter-day icon, but I want to focus on the ways in which, even within the design language of the Big Bang, Bavera and his crew at Hublot have managed to create a diverse spectrum of case studies in case materials. So I'm going to focus first and foremost on the East Coast Jewelry limited edition of 100. Now this is basically your essential Hublot Big Bang with a few variations. You've got the carbon fiber dial, so sporty, lightweight, very much in tune with modern motorsports and aeronautics. Inset within the ceramic bezel, it's self-retained by these Hublot H-pattern bezel bolts. Now this is a design cue that goes back to that 1980 original. What sets it apart is that it's also defined by the contrast in the finish. The brushing of the bolts themselves, as well as the knurling of the flanks of the bezel and the polish on the top. This is not universal to the Big Bangs. This is unique to the East Coast. The polished finish atop the ceramic bezel, as opposed to a brushed or grained finish, really allows this one to shine, and combined with the contrast against the texture of the weave of the carbon fiber, this really pops, and you can even see how it's just kind of exploding in the light of my light box. It features the usual brushed and polished stainless steel top and bottom plates, but what further distinguishes this example is the bright Miami yellow, East Coast is a local company for us, Kevlar insert on the side. Now, this is a bit of a variation on the traditional polymer composite insert on the sides of Hublot watches, and it makes this limited edition of 100 just a little bit more distinctive, just a little bit more special. Now there is a yellow strap that comes with this watch that can also be ordered separately that will turn it into a bit of an explosive spectacle. When you combine the yellow accents of the dial on carbon fiber with the yellow strap and the yellow inserts, it's a watch that could only perhaps be worn on Miami Beach, but that's appropriate. This is a watch, after all, for special occasions. And of course, the Hublot Big Bang Monaco Yacht Club. Now I mentioned that it and the Mag Bang are something like matter and antimatter, whereas this watch weighs about 75 to 80 grams all up with its combination of aluminum, titanium, magnesium, and even subtle weight-saving measures like the pin buckle instead of the deployant. This Monaco Yacht Club is comprised principally of tantalum. It weighs a ton in the hand. It has the feel of precious metal, but it has the look of subdued, almost tactical watches. It's a very impressive piece, and it's one of the most discreet Hublot watches I've ever seen. This is not a watch that screams, "Look at me." This is a quietly confident, massive thing. It almost has its own gravitational field. I feel in terms of the airs or the atmosphere or the aura it projects, it's closest to something with the slightly haughty dignity of an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak Offshore. If you wanted an aesthetic to go toe-to-toe with AP, in terms other than sheer size, this would be your Big Bang. Meanwhile, if you wanted a no-holds-barred statement of technology that's a little bit flamboyant and has its own almost mil-spec look, albeit in a different vein, then you want the Mag Bang. Now the Mag Bang, one of 250 made, features a movement that itself includes titanium components. It weighs about half as much as a standard Valjoux 7750, so this is a watch that's thematically consistent inside and out. But it is weighty subject matter that lends its philosophical input to the design of the Monaco Yacht Club. Now it is a tribute to the Twiga, the flagship of the Monaco Yacht Club, actually purchased and restored by Prince Albert himself. You can see it's very subtly featured on the back of this watch. There is a silk-screened logo featuring a sort of wire outline of the ship, as well as its name and the year of its construction, 1909. Like everything else about this watch, it's subtle. It's sort of floating below the radar. It's a totally different philosophical approach to designing a watch, but what unites all three of these is their fusion of unlikely materials in a devastatingly effective aesthetic package. Now, each 44 millimeters, the watches all play different on the wrist. They have immense visual presence in each case, but very different personalities. This gives you an idea of the cross-section of Hublot Big Bang looks, materials, options, and being that all of these are limited editions, you get a sense of just how rare an individual iteration of a material combination can be in the case of any given Hublot limited edition. You can see, and if you choose, you can buy any of these Hublot Big Bang limited editions on our website, watchyouwant.com. And if you like these videos, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Watch You Want Inc.